What up, y'all? It's your guy Dawson from D&D TV. Thank you for rating, commenting, and subscribing. Everybody who's donated, those of you all who will, all that information is in the description box below. Also, go over to my other YouTube channel, Dawson Speaks TV. Make sure you subscribe over there and hit that little bell so you get notifications when I drop a new video. Now let's get into this topic. Now this video is for educational purposes, so as I approach this topic with respect, I need you all to please be respectful in my comment section. Thanks. I missed you all, and I hope that you're doing good and that life is treating you kind. Now, a lot has happened in the news since the last video I posted over a month or so ago, and I haven't spoke on a lot of things that's been in the news, but trust me, I've been watching. I'm very newsy. Now, I started to move on to other topics, but I had to come back to the last video I did on Pastor Keion and Shaunie Henderson, rumors and romance. Now, a lot of you left some very interesting comments, although we did have some people who left some nasty, and I do mean nasty, rude comments that will never be seen on this page. Now, there were some people who said, Dawson, it's time. As a matter of fact, it's high time that we talk about sexuality in religious institutions. As a matter of fact, some people commented, many of you cursed me out in the comments. I thought that was so funny. Some of you all said, Dawson, you're full of crap. A lot of people in church, especially the black church, are bisexual. Hell. Y'all were going off, man. Y'all said hell. Some of them are trisexual. They'll try anything and ask for forgiveness afterwards. Take a breath. Now, some of you reminded me of the topic I did last year entitled Black, Bisexual, Married, and Christian, and I guess this is part 2, where we talked about former gubernatorial candidate Andrew Gillum and his wife RJ Gillum, who are married and they have 3 kids. Now, Andrew Gillum revealed on the Tamron Hall show, you all remember they had that interview, and he said that he was bisexual, and his wife RJ Gillum said that she knew that he was bisexual before they got married, and they both were in the church. And guess what? They're still married to this day. Now, some of you even got on my case and you said, Dawson, you of all people giving Pastor Keion Henderson the benefit of the doubt? You didn't do that with Pastor Dwayne Dawkins. You should be neutral in your commentary. And some of you said that I was giving Pastor Keion the benefit of the doubt because he's connected to TD Jakes, and you all know how much I love First Lady Sarita Jakes, and I like Bishop Jakes too. Look, ma'am, sir, I think I did an excellent job on covering the Pastor Dwayne Dawkins debacle. As a matter of fact, I think that was some of my best work on YouTube, if I do say so myself. Also, Pastor Dwayne Dawkins does have connection to Bishop T.D. Jakes, so I am neutral in my commentary, sir. Now, you all remember Pastor Dwayne Dawkins. He is the pastor that preached against homosexuality.
There may be homosexuals and lesbianism in your family line, but it's not normal. What are you trying to do, Dawkins? I'm trying to start a rebellion in the tabernacle.
However, he participated in same-sex activities at night, or whenever the time was right. In other words, basically, Pastor Dwayne Dawkins was a hypocrite. However, let me address that question. There was video footage of Pastor Dwayne Dawkins, a married father of 3, who cheated on his wife with a man who was an OnlyFans content creator. That was an open and shut case, and Pastor Dwayne Dawkins knew it, which is why he wrote that long apology letter, which he took responsibility for his actions, and he apologized to his wife, his children, his church, his family, his wife's family, his friends, other ministries, and the entire body of Christ. And then he came out months later and said that he struggles with bisexual tendencies. However, when it comes to Pastor Keion Henderson and these old rumors, they're so old, about him and gospel recording artist Ernest Pugh having some sort of entanglement, there's no evidence. Now, I know some of you all said in the comments that Dawson, Pastor Keion's ex-wife, can't talk about the divorce or anything that happened in their marriage because there was a gag order put in place. Now, I don't know anything about that, but let me tell you, I do know that Pastor Keion does have a type. Look at his ex-wife and his current wife. Pastor Keion loved them red bones. Now, there were some former members and members out there at Lighthouse Church, Houston, Texas, which is Pastor Keion Henderson's church, and they got in the comments and they said, Dawson, Shaunie Henderson is not my first lady. Look how she treated those grown women all those years on Basketball Wives, and now she is over the women's conferences at our church? I don't think so. There are women who were saved, sanctified, spirit-filled in that church and other churches. Why did Pastor Keion Henderson choose a reality star that has a reputation on a show that she created that promotes bullying amongst women of color? Wow. Now, speaking of color, I know some of you all had something to say about colorism stuff that was on that show, and you all mentioned the lady OG who was on the show, so I'm not even getting into that because a lot of people had a lot of stuff to say about that. Now I'm going to read some of your comments, not all of them, just some of them, because some of the comments were really, really good. But I want to say this, just in general, we know, or at least most of us know, that there are a lot of married bisexual men and women in the Lord's church. However, that does not mean that because they feel a certain way or have an attraction for the same sex, that they're acting on their attractions. Many of those individuals are committed to the vows they made to their spouse. All right? Now, the first comment comes from T Loves Unicorns, and she says, great content. Yes, Dawson, as a former first lady, I can say it's a person's individual choice. I was married to a good pastor who did love God and was an ex-gay, and we married. You better testify, T. T goes on to say, I still got tested, and we both remained married until he passed away. How'd he die? Let me go on. I never got anything, but it would be a lie to say I never wondered. You and most women will wonder. But he loved his passion, which was preaching, so I never seen any red flags, but it was an individual choice to remain delivered. He even testified about admitting his former life with repentance. No scandals, just the truth. He passed on, but the marriage was awesome, and I do believe he was delivered. Well, thank you so much for that comment. Now, Eric Burrell, what's up, Eric? Eric Burrell is the brother of controversial gospel recording artist Kim Burrell. He did a interview, I think it was on King Jives over there. You all go check that out in your spare time. Eric Burrell said, preach it, Dawson. My guy, this was good. Thanks for watching, Eric. Now, Carmelo Brown gets in the comment section and he says, what if Keion looked like Keith with baggy pants and a fitted hat from Brownsville? Would y'all still think his sexuality is questionable? The DL culture is destroying heterosexual relationships, and a lot of men are married struggling with their sexuality. I hate when people say struggling. I don't believe people are struggling with their sexuality. I believe people know what the hell they are and what they like. Just my opinion. Let me continue. Take the church aspect out of it and focus on the common denominator. And then he goes on to say, the church is just a playground for married men to connect with their own kind. Single successful men attend church to find married men to play around with in private. Wow. Carmelo, how do you know all of this? Y'all, it seems like Carmelo's getting ready to write a book or start a vlog. Y'all better watch out. Now, GW said, some people will always have something to say. Who you talking to? I attended the church when Ernest was a member. Unfortunately, he was flamboyant too many times. Ernest Pugh was removed from the ministry of music at Lighthouse Church when Ernest was struggling with his identity. Let them be. Now, was he removed because he was struggling with his identity, or is it something that happened down there at Lighthouse Church and the people at the church over there in the area in Houston know about it and y'all keeping it under wraps? And I'm up here kicking up some dust, and that's why the church people at Lighthouse was coming attacking me. I told y'all I ain't believe it. The way y'all was coming at me in the comments to people who attended Lighthouse and those who were fans of Pastor Keion and Shaunie, it kind of make you think something did go on, boy. Y'all, ooh. You need to stop, Dawson. Get off my pastor. Get off this topic. Just get off of him. Hell, I wasn't on him. Ernest was on him, allegedly. Go talk to Ernest. Don't talk to me. Shoot. Now, Macrod says, I'm gay, and my wife knew it. What's the big deal? We don't have sex anymore. It wasn't a closet for me to come out of. She didn't believe me when I first told her, but I told the truth, and I feel free. Our kids are grown, so what's the big deal? And then Voice of Clarity said, if she's okay with it, nothing's wrong. Now, I know some of you women are saying, and some of you men too, why would she marry a man who doesn't want her? Well, some people do it because they think they can change people, and other people do it because they want companionship. Let's go on. Now, T. Knox says, women don't know how to contain envy. Oh, well, here we go. And the black church folk are simply toxic. Dang, he coming out swinging. Why not talk about bisexuality? There are people that are attracted to men and women equally and can have a successful relationship with either one. Bisexuality is real. I'm not saying that either Shaunie or Keion are bisexual, nor am I entertaining the rumors about Keion. People are people, and we all have our dirt. Congratulations to the Hendersons, and may God bless your family. We hear you, T. Knox. Now, Linda Tart says, there are no ex-gays. They always slip around every now and then. Just be bi and live your life. And then Samantha Bullock says, maybe he's bi, in which case, the attraction is real. And then Lovely Jackson, what's up, Lovely Jackson? Lovely Jackson says, I feel like church people should not judge folks based on their sexual preferences. When people want to get married, just be honest as to bisexual or etc. Now, Yetta, what up, Yetta? Yetta says, hey, Dawson, as for hitching my star to an ex-gay man, yeah, that'll be a no for me, simply because I have gay friends who vowed to love a woman and said they'd never go back to a man, yet they did the opposite. So, well, I agree with you on that. I don't believe your sexual attractions change, but in religious institutions, they push people to conversion therapy and reparative therapy, and in the end, in most cases, in a lot of 95% of those cases, most of those marriages end in divorce, and people's lives are ruined, and they've wasted times, and children's hearts are broken because the parents are getting divorced. I mean, look at the Pastor Dwayne Dawkins situation. He said in his letter when he apologized to everyone that he had an indiscretion in the beginning of his marriage, and he had counsel, and they prayed for him. He went through deliverance and everything. But then last year, he got caught with the man again. So you're playing with people's lives when you know who you really are, because people who don't go to church, they're like, well, if you say you got delivered, why did you go back to it? Did the deliverance not take? What happened? And the only one who suffers that no one in the church wants to talk about is that woman right there. And I know a lot of the men on this channel, y'all get mad with me. They call my channel the Black Feminist Channel. I don't care what y'all brothers say. Y'all know it's the truth. These women are told to be submissive, to obey your husband, and don't speak out. Just be meek and just sit there quiet. And then when stuff like this happens, everybody will come and attack me for telling women that you got to look out for yourself. You don't have to stay in a relationship with a man who don't know if he wants to be with you or another woman or another man or both. That's ridiculous. You better get your mind right. However, Grandma Diva, she doesn't agree at all. She says, had more than one couple happily married ex-gays in our church. Love them all. Deliverance is possible. It's a matter of choice. Okay. Well, we had some people to respond to her, and they said, Michael Turner said, that's not true. You're going to always have sexual attraction with the same sex. You black women and men get on my nerves with this topic. And then I Got Your Back said, shout out I Got Your Back. You've been rocking with me for years, and I appreciate it. I Got Your Back said, y'all need to stop pushing this deliverance lie. All deliverance are gay men and women so desperate for acceptance of family and friends, on top of being discontented with the gay relationships they've had. They suppress and deny their natural desire and pretend to be totally straight. What always happens is that in due time, they will realize that their natural inclination is still there and aren't going nowhere. They will meet the right one, and then the heterosexual male or female is left brokenhearted, alone, and sometimes in complete ruins, along with the children that they may have created. Most heterosexuals aren't delivered from sexual temptation, aka adultery, fornication, etc. But somehow, someone with an entirely different orientation is supposed to just change? And then she gives the girl bye. All right, let's move on. Now, this commenter wrote, some black women look over the fact that the men they love had relationships with men. Shaunie is no different. If she likes it, I love it. Congratulations to them both. And somebody put gross, and then I Got Your Back came back again swinging. I Got Your Back. She's going off in these comments. I Got Your Back wrote, this comment is part of the problem. She may well be okay with him being who he is. It may not be for you or me, but why judge it? Then you all wonder why these DL men get with you and hide that part of them. A lot of this mess we bring on ourselves. Wow. And then someone wrote, Perhaps she's okay with bisexual. Now, what do you all think about I Got Your Back's response? Do you all feel, as she put in there, then you all wonder why these DL men get with you and hide that part of them, a lot of this mess we bring on ourselves? How do you all feel about that? Let me know. Now, Blue Diamond Eyes wrote, and he says that he's a gay man, and he's had several wives call him, and a lot of them know over the phone. They know, and they have overlooked it until they can't do it anymore, until it becomes a deal breaker. Because I'm going to tell you, the men won't stop. I live my life out and proud, and this is how it's been my whole life. I can't speak for DL men. I've never been on the DL, but it's not uncommon for babies' mamas, girlfriends, and wives to call my phone. It's been happening for a little over 25 years now. These women will call or text and say, "How do you know my husband?" Now that's what Blue Diamond Eyes says. Y'all better pay attention. Now, Carolyn Coleman says, I look at things because I'm 73 and I want to keep up. But at the end of the day, they living better than me. I really don't give a damn. Just nosy Josie. Now, Perry wrote, I won't step foot in the church between what my mama tell me and YouTube. These pastors out here wildin'. I'll let God use random folks to work on me because these MFs are Looney Tunes. I agree with you on that. I agree with you 100%. Now, I love this comment right here. If those same folks don't denounce the predatory issues in the church, then don't say nothing about these people's marriage. Whatever their situation, it's just that, their situation. Leave them people alone. I agree with you totally. These people will not even address the predatory issues that are going on in the church. I haven't been on YouTube in almost, 35 days? And all these stories that are coming out? And when I do them, y'all, oh, Dawson, you need to pray. Look, we all prayed up over here. This show is called Dawson Speak. I'm speaking on it. Now, Yama Rabi said, welcome back, Dawson. But Shaunie knows who she married. There's no deliverance from the lifestyle. The desire will always be there. She likes it. We love it. And then someone answered, that's a lie. You can be delivered from anything. God is not a man that he should lie. Now, Maurice Price says, unfortunately, most women can't tell if a masculine man is DL or not. It's the same way when trying to identify a feminine lesbian. Now, Preacher Man says, be real enough to love people enough to tell them the truth, even question their motives for doing things in love. It's about truly having a desire to be delivered or change. First, be real. Be real with yourself and God. I'm a pastor, and I agree with Dawson on some of his views. Wait a minute, you only agree with me on some of them? Come on, Pastor. Now, let me go on. Because he uncovers a lot of religions and traditionalism and spiritual blindness that is operating in the church. Take a breath. Now, that's what the pastor said. Let me speak. He said he agrees with me on some of my views because I uncover a lot of religious and traditionalism and spiritual blindness that is operating where? In the church. It's time for the church to be the church. Wake up, folks. I'm truly praying for the church body and all involved. Jesus is coming. Get right, church. Thank you, Preacher Man. Now, Melissa Holland wrote, Dawson, what you said about church folks is so true. Now they want you to get delivered, but when you tell them you've been delivered, and you want to marry the opposite sex, they the same ones that gossip behind your back. Such hypocrites. True, you know how that goes. Now, this is the last comment, y'all. I can't read them all. It was over 1,000 comments there. But Princess Shenanigans Present says, I appreciate you. Sometimes I don't even listen for the topic listed in the title, but the encouragement that always comes with it. Thank you. I appreciate that. I really do. And so let me leave you all with these encouraging words. Those of you all who are in relationships or you're married or about to get into them, be honest with the person you're in a relationship with, okay? Tell them everything. Don't marry people saying, what was in my past is in my past. God forgave me and I forgave myself and I don't want to talk about it anymore. Let's just start off clean and move on. You know, you may think that's okay, but it's not, because what's happened in your past, it will show up in your future. And some people will come and remind you. So you got to make sure the person you're getting in a relationship with, they know the real you, and you need to talk about what happened in the past. All right? We don't have time to play those silly games anymore. Tell the truth, all right? Now I'm off of this. Go off in the comments. Let me know what you think about this video. I appreciate everyone that commented on that video. I really do. Until next time, it's your guy Dawson. Take care of yourself and each other. Peace.